What is going on, guys? I've been reviewing prop firms for, about a year now, and I don't think I've ever really done a list of my top prop firms. And believe me, if y'all been in this game for a while, y'all know there are a ton out there. But I compiled a list of all the prop firms that I like, and also I'm going to tell you guys the reasons why I like them, the reasons why I put them in the places that I put them in. So let's get right into it. The top prop firm out, man, it's even got it in its name. It's got to be TopStep, man. They are number one on my list for prop firms. They've been doing it for over 12 years. They are Mr. Reliable, Mr. Consistent. You never really hear any problems about them. They just go about their business and keep producing. They listen to all of their traders. They have made all the changes that we want to see. Of course, they could probably make some more, but for now, they have pretty much done everything that people have asked for, and that's why I got to give them the top spot. I mean, they are great with communication. They are great with customer service. They have a YouTube channel where they go live, and you can get the information from them there, like first. You know what I'm saying? They just do it all. Let me go over why I like TopStep so much. So first off, scrolling down their accounts, they're pretty cheap. I mean, $50 a month for the 50K. It's not the cheapest, but it's also not the most expensive either. They have the industry standard profit target, industry standard maximum limit loss, and then also they did away with the daily loss limit. So before, you used to only get like half of your loss limit per day. Now you get it all on the day. So you can blow your account in a day, but at the same time, it gives you a little bit more room to trade a little bit larger in these accounts. Also, I'm a huge fan of TopStep X. They did everything that I wanted them to do in there. I mean, they made it easy to put a stop loss, take profit in. I love the fact that they have a built-in trade copier. It just makes it really easy if you have multiple accounts to set it up. I mean, it takes literal seconds. I literally have a video on it so you guys can watch. But then also, I think the tilt indicator is pretty cool in there. And then they have Trading View. So, I mean, that's the charts that I learned how to trade on, really. So it's really nice. It's really intuitive. It's easy to use. And yeah, I think they did a really good job with their TopStep X platform. And then lastly, it's the payout structure for me. I mean, a lot of people, that's what they're in the game for, is to get paid. And some prop firms make it a little bit difficult to get paid, but not TopStep. I mean, they're probably one of the easiest. It's just 5 winning days of $200 or more, and you get a payout. Every 5 days, you can request a payout as long as each day you made $200 or more dollars. And it doesn't matter which size account you're on, which is actually huge because a lot of other prop firms, one that comes to mind is Apex. You have to make more money the larger account size that you're in, but not with TopStep. They pretty much standardized it, and it just makes it really easy to get a payout and not keep the money from you. On top of that, you get to take 50% out per payout period, and once you hit 30 days, it's 100% yours at that point. So, TopStep is my number one. It's a lot of people's number one. I just think that they're the best prop firm out right now, and yeah, you just can't beat them. But let's move on to the next prop firm, and I'm not gonna lie. Number 2 and number 3, they're like neck and neck. Like, they're pretty much interchangeable. All right, so I'm just going to say this is like number 2A on the list for me, and it's TakeProfit Trader. They are definitely up there. Honestly, I don't hear too many people talking about TakeProfit, but they are definitely one of the better prop firms out. And the reason why, again, is because you can get your money very easily. So they are a little bit more expensive on the accounts, but they do run a 50% off special, or at least they're running one right now. So you get 50% off and you get 100% off of test refunds in your first withdrawal. So that's really nice. It's going to keep your costs down a lot more. So when you see the prices in a second, just take 50% off and that'll be what you're looking at. So, for pricing, they're pretty comparable. A 50K account is only $170. You take 50% off. You got the 25K, so they go lower than what TopStep goes, and they also have a daily loss limit. So the only real difference between them and TopStep is the daily loss limit is still intact when you're talking about your actual accounts, whether you're trading on a funded account or you're trading on the eval. TakeProfit really brags about the fact that they don't try to hold your money, right? So they have probably the easiest withdrawal rules out of all the other prop firms, which is why I like TakeProfit so much, because with TakeProfit, there's no TakeProfit window that you need, or withdrawal windows, right? Like a lot of other prop firms, you can only withdraw on certain time periods, or you need a certain amount of days traded, like with TopStep. But with TakeProfit, there is no time window. As soon as you get funded on day one, you can take a payout, but there is a little bit of a stipulation there. So they do have a buffer zone. So on a 50K account here, you can see your maximum drawdown or buffer zone is $2,000. So you need to keep $2,000 in your account to be able to take a withdrawal. Once you hit that $2,000, then everything else after that is yours. So let's say on the first day, you make $4,000. Well, you can take $2,000 out of your account that very same day and now you have to worry about it. So that's really the big reason why I like TakeProfit so much. You know, their rules are pretty standard to everybody else's rules, but their withdrawal rules are one of the best rules out. My funded futures is going to be 2B. Now, I mean, we could argue whether or not my funded futures is better or worse than TakeProfit. Honestly, I kind of look at them as being the same. I actually think that my funded futures is more of like an upgraded version of Apex, in my opinion, with like the way they kind of structure everything. Like they kind of took the best things out of Apex and like the best things out of TopStep, and they kind of combined it into one. But I do like the speed at which you can get payouts on TakeProfit. But at the end of the day, I mean, they're 2A, 2B, you know, whichever one you prefer really. But what I do like about my funded futures is they do have the 1 day pass on their evals, which is the fastest besides Apex, right? Not my funded futures, but TopStep is 2 days, and then TakeProfit is 5. So they are very quick to get funded. You can get funded in a day. My funded futures is also always running deals. So, you know, I got coupon codes and links and all that stuff for all of these prop firms in the description. So, you know, they're always running deals. So you can look and see. I'm not sure what deal they're running right now or when you're going to be watching this, but most of the times their accounts are going to be extra cheap. But one thing that, you know, as I'm recording this video, they actually just added this Starter Plus account. So I'm going to be making a whole video breaking down these Starter Plus accounts. So now they have 3 different tiers of accounts per account. You got your Expert, your Starter, and your Starter Plus. So the Starter Plus right now, they're doing a 20% off. So it's only $96. So it's pretty close to the regular Starter. Everything in here is basically the same between the Starter and the Starter Plus, except for this daily loss limit. So they've taken off the daily loss limit, which makes it, in my opinion, better, right? You're only paying an extra $16, maybe a little bit more with whatever the discount is, but you're only really paying like, let's say 16 extra bucks and you get the full $2,000 drawdown, but you are losing like $500. So that is something to think about. It more matches the Expert, but the only difference between these two is the fact that there's no consistency rule when you get into the eval or when you get into the funded, but there's a consistency rule on the eval. So they kind of swapped those two around. Same thing over here. Like they swapped around the consistency rule on the funded part, but there's no consistency rule on the eval. But then other than that, everything else is pretty much the same. The other thing that I really like about my funded futures is they also have gotten rid of activation fees for all their accounts, which make them even more cheap, right? Because pretty much every other prop firm has some type of activation fee. Sometimes they run specials. I know TopStep doesn't run any specials. My funded futures, don't worry about it. And then on TakeProfit, they will run specials sometimes. Right now, they're not running it, but they have like a 40% off and then no fee special that they'll run. So if you catch it then you don't have to pay the activation fee. But yeah, I think this is really neat that they added another layer of accounts, just kind of like catering to more people, right? So if I go to the 100K account, you can see they added the Starter Plus there, and then the 150K account also has a Starter Plus. For the payouts, my funded futures is basically taking what TopStep did, and they added a little bit extra to it. So what they did was they said, okay, to qualify for a payout, you have to have 5 winning days of $100, and you can get weekly payouts, and that's for the 50K. For the 100K, it's 5 winning days of $200. So you just got to make an extra $100, and you can get a payout. And then for the 150K, it's $300. So the good thing about this is it's not that bad because you're getting more drawdowns. So they're not really asking you to make some wild amount of money per day. So I still feel like this is pretty fair. Is it as good as TopStep? No, because the $200 is $200 across the board. But they didn't swing so far to the right that it's like, dang, like you took TopStep's thing, but you made it way worse for everybody. So I don't think it's that bad. And yeah, I mean, they still have a really good payout policy. And that's why these are my top three, really. Basically, because of the fact that they are very, very trader friendly, especially with their rules and listening to traders. And, they trade, not Trade-Evade, but Take Profit doesn't change as much things as, TopStep and My Funded Futures has recently, but they pretty much just stayed consistent with everything. So I can't really knock them for that. But yeah, the fact that their payouts are very, very easy to get, and they're not trying to really hide, or not really hide, but they're not trying to make getting payouts difficult. They actually make them very, very easy because they know how hard trading can be. So those are my top three. And now I'm going to get into the next one, and really these next two prop firms, which are my straight to funded prop firms. Tradeify.co is the next prop firm on the list. Now, they are a newer prop firm. They're just getting going. They are getting payouts. You can join their Discord and you can see people are getting paid out. Like I said, they're newer. They were founded by Brett Simba, who is a trader himself. He's a pretty popular YouTuber. And I mean, yeah, I think this prop firm has a lot of potential. It's making my list because they have straight to funded. They've kind of combined a little bit of how Apex account structures are, but then they also added the wrinkle of having straight to funded. So they have a lot of options for basically every skill level of trader, and that's why I really like them. They have 3 different types of accounts that you can look at getting. And again, this is why they're pretty high up on my list here, is they have the advanced accounts, which are basically the easier accounts. Now, you do have to worry about an intraday, but that's about it as far as the accounts go. And, they're a lot cheaper, right? So the cheaper the account, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be a little bit harder to pass because you have intraday. And then we go to the growth account. The growth account costs a little bit more, right? But instead, now you have the end of day, which makes it a little bit easier. They also get rid of the activation fee once you go to the growth account. So you kind of save money in that aspect. So if you don't have to reset it, then you're only paying the 180. And again, they all run different sales. I think right now they're doing a 40% off sale that ends October 15th. But you can always scroll up and look and see what sales that they're doing. The only other thing that they've had, which I'm not going to lie, I kind of hope that they get rid of, is this daily loss limit. They don't have it on the advanced account. So that's a good thing that they kind of got rid of the daily loss limit, but I wish they would also get rid of it here. It's a soft breach, so it won't like blow your account. It'll just stop you from trading for the day. But in my opinion, I don't really think that any prop firm should have a daily loss limit. So, that's just my opinion, but I mean, it's not that bad. And then the straight to funded is the one where you just skip the eval altogether and you can have a maximum of 5 accounts. So you can be straight to funded on day one and just start making money. Now, their payout structure is a little bit different. They have adopted more of the Apex, in a window, but I think that'll change over time as they get going. They're a brand new prop firm, so I think that as they kind of evolve and kind of figure out the space and kind of give a little bit more time to build, I think that they'll go in the direction of, not having the payout window. But for now, they're doing a payout window. So I'm just going to use the straight to funded. They also have the 2 other accounts that have similar payout windows and similar payout structure. It's a little bit different, but you'll get the gist if I just do the one. So you have to trade at least 10 separate days to get a withdrawal, and you also have to make $100 or more for 5 of those days, which again, I mean, it's not that much. Like that's really not asking for too much there. But the bigger thing is that they only pay out twice a month. So it's the 1st and the 4th, and then the 15th of the 18th is their payout window. But they do process payouts and issue them within 24 hours. So that is actually really good because that's like really fast compared to some of these other prop firms. So that I do like. Again, I think that the payout window and this whole structure probably will change. A lot of them change over time, so I wouldn't get too hung up on it. But I do like the fact that they have the straight to funded and the fact that you just have so many different options with whatever level you're at of trader. Next, I've got FastTrack Trading. Now, I know there's been a lot of stuff going on with FastTrack Trading with their CEO and, everything else. They had a lot of drama, okay? And to be honest with you guys about all the drama, I'm just putting that aside for a second and just dealing with the company itself, right? And the opportunity that this company will give you as a trader. aside from all the drama and everything else, we're here to trade and we're here to make money. And these prop firms give us an opportunity to do so. And I think that FastTrack Trading is a good opportunity to make money besides, all the rest of the stuff. So I'm just putting all that stuff to the left or to the right, and we're just going to talk about the prop firm itself. Now, this prop firm is really, really good because, again, it's straight to funding. There is no eval process. You just pay for the account and you get funded. Now, they were doing some discounts. I don't know if they're running any discounts at the moment, but well, I kind of do. So right now, at the time of this recording, they just added credit cards to be able to pay for the accounts. Before, you couldn't pay for the account with a credit card. You have to wire the money. Now, you can pay with a credit card, and you can get 10% off if you pay with the credit card. I think the code is like FTT TAC CC or something, or _CC. You can check their Discord for that, but you can get 10% off. So these accounts will be a little bit cheaper. However, they are pretty expensive accounts, but they're straight to funded accounts. So you're always going to be paying more. This is the only option that they have, is straight to funded. Now, they're a lot like Apex because you can get 20 of them. So you can get 20 accounts straight funded, link them all together, and start trading. I mean, I don't think other than Apex, and this is skipping the eval, but there's no other prop firm out that I can really think of off the top of my head. I mean, maybe you guys can, where you can get 20 accounts and trade them all. But there's nowhere else where you can get 20 accounts funded straight off the bat. I can tell you that right now. No other place. So they also have an end-of-day trailing drawdown, which I love. They got a minimum of 5 days trading per account. And there's no scaling. They do have a consistency rule. It's the same as Tradeify's consistency rule, which is 20% to be able to request a payout, right? So I think it's pretty much industry standard that if it's straight to funded, you're probably going to be looking at a 20% consistency. So, just make sure you're going for the same, types of profit targets each and every time and not really trying to hit home runs unless that's what you do on a regular basis. Now, the other thing that I like about FastTrack is that they're actually really transparent. Like, I got to give it to them. They're a very transparent company. They have had some issues in the past with Rhythmic, and they've been transparent and upfront about it. They've reset people's accounts. And you got to remember, when they're resetting people's accounts, they're resetting straight to funded accounts, right? They're giving you your account back that is straight to funded. That's huge. The other thing that I'll say that I give them credit for is that they keep people up to date with their payouts. They do, I think they process all the payouts themselves. So sometimes they have fallen a little bit behind with processing payouts. And where I give them credit is that they are always in their Discord, giving updates, answering questions, and being transparent about people's payouts and being behind and saying that they're going to catch up and when they're going to catch up and all this other stuff. So, all the drama aside, they are a pretty good company. And, I see plenty of people getting payouts. And I think this is a really good option if you are an experienced trader and you know what you're doing and, you've already passed evals and gotten payouts and fundeds. If you haven't, then I would say do not do FastTrack and don't do the straight to funded on Tradeify, right? I would do one of the other options. But if you are more skilled and just want to skip the eval, then, I think FastTrack Trading or Tradeify is a very good option for you. And then the last one on the list, I guess, honorable mention. I know a lot of people would be like, you really put Apex on the list? Like, you think Apex is, a top prop firm? And the answer is yes, honestly, right? But it's what you can use Apex for that's more important to me than the actual prop firm, right? There's still tons of people killing Apex. You get 20 accounts. Y'all know the spiel about Apex. But for me, the thing is if you're a newer trader, either a newer trader to prop, or you're just a newer trader in general, and you're finding this video and, you want to try out a prop firm account, I honestly think that Apex is the right way to go, right? Like, if you're not looking to try to get a payout and you're just trying to improve and you want a really, really, really cheap account that you might be able to get funded and might be able to get a payout through, I think Apex is the way to go, honestly, while you're still building yourself up. Now, if you already have a system, then yeah, maybe you might want to go with TopStep or My Funded Future or, FastTrack Trading and just skip the evals, right? But for the traders that are struggling out there who, I don't want to say can't afford to trade prop firms, but want a cheaper alternative, I think Apex is a really good option. Not to mention the fact that Apex has been making their payouts much, much faster, especially with smaller payouts that they have to do, right? So, throughout all the controversy of whether Apex is going under, changing their name, or whatever, I don't really care about all that stuff. What I do care about, though, is people getting the experience while not blowing the bank, right? Because if you look at some of these other traders out there, they're in for like $50,000, $60,000 on Apex alone, just buying accounts and resets after resets. But right now, they're doing an 80% off on evals and $35 resets, which is super, super cheap. And on top of that, they've lowered their larger accounts in price as well. So a 150K account now on 80%, it only costs about $50. So very, very cheap compared to like a TopStep where it's $150 for a 150K account, right? So, I think you got to kind of pick the good and the bad out of all these, but I still think that Apex is a very, very good choice for traders. So scrolling down here a little bit, I have tons of Apex videos on YouTube, but their accounts, they're pretty standard. The 50K account, $3,000 profit goal, $2,500 trailing threshold. They don't have a daily drawdown, but they do have the intraday drawdown, right? So, it is what it is, but I still think that Apex is one of the top prop firms out. Let's look at their payout structure real fast. All right, so the one thing too about Apex that I like is that you get the first $25,000, 100% is yours. I don't think that any other prop firm has 25K as the 100%. A lot of them are like 10K, 15, but 25 is actually a lot for the profit share. And again, like I was saying before, they do have the payout window, so it's twice per month. The 1st and the 5th are the first one, and then it's the 15th through the 20th is the second window. So you got to trade 10 days in that window just to get a payout. And then I believe they have a 30% consistency rule on Apex. And then as well as they have the buffer that you need to get to, which should be down here. Here it is. So you have a buffer or safety net that you have to get to before you can actually get a payout. So, on a 25K account, you need to have at least 26,000 in your account for you to be able to take a payout. In the 50K account, you need at least 52,600 to be able to take a payout. And then once you got that on a 50K account, they cap you about how much money you can take out. So you can withdraw $2,000 on a 50K account. Whereas like on a TopStep, for instance, there is no cap. It's just 50% of, whatever you have in the account. So on TopStep, if you're up $5,000, you can take out $2,500, in your first payout, compared to Apex, where there's a cap on how much you can actually take out. So, you got to take the good with the bad. But honestly, I think if you use Apex correctly, and a lot of people have, people are making millions off of trading Apex. But if you use Apex correctly, then I think you can make a ton of money using Apex. But also, if you're newer to trading, I think that Apex is probably one of the better prop firms to go with. Those are my top prop firms that are out right now. If you guys have a prop firm that I haven't done yet, or a prop firm that you guys are trading that you really like, let me know down in the comments what prop firm that you guys like the most. And, maybe I might review it. I'll check it out and see, because I'm always looking for new prop firms to review or even to try out myself if they are good. So yeah, let me know down in the comments about that. If you like this list of prop firms, or if you disagree with any of these prop firms on my list, also, you should let me know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that as well. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.